Hello, I'm making this video to announce that I'm selling my 3D printer at an auction on eBay this weekend, and also kind of as an update to show you what I've done with it since my last video. So, the first thing you probably noticed is this stand that holds the spool of plastic to let it unroll. That's the only thing that I have added that I'm not going to include in the auction. It's pretty makeshift, as you can see, but it does the job. And some of the things I've added is this band and this air duct that I printed on this printer. I attached it to basically where it would pump air through the heatsink on the nozzle to keep it from clogging up, because that was one problem the printer had. Another thing that I added, you control it with this little switch back here, and you flip that and it'll light up and start spinning. And another thing that I added is this belt tensioner down here. Basically, as you can see, it basically just pushes up on this belt, and it has a ball bearing attached down there, and you can change the height of the ball bearing by loosening up these nuts and moving this threaded rod up or down and then tightening them up where you want them. Another thing that I added is just some blue tape, same blue tape that I used on the print bed, just to keep the plastic from rubbing against the threaded rods here, because I noticed that there was plastic shreds built up there. I also wanted to kind of go over something that I forgot to mention when using the printer. There's this software that you'll need before you can start using the printer. You need to open up what's called Arduino. Basically, it helps you for your first time using the printer. You calibrate the printer with this software, telling it how many steps the stepper motors have to go in order to move the printer the correct amount. And once you get that all set up, you pretty much never have to deal with the software ever again. The other thing I wanted to mention is this prompter face. Now, I talked about this in my first video, but I also wanted to point out that there's basically like software within this software called Slicer, and it just slices up the 3D models that you have into a bunch of layers and turns those into instructions for the printer. So in here you can change the settings like the print speed, you can change the nozzle diameter, the origin, and right here you can see that I'm printing at 100 millimeters in the X direction and 100 in the Y direction. You can also tell it what kind of filament you have and stuff like that. Once you've made your settings, you just click slice and select the model that you want to slice, and once you've done that, you can click load file right here and then go find your instructions and open them, and you'll get this, which is basically what I showed you in the other video about the instructions of how this printer actually will print the model. So that pretty well goes over how to use the printer, this combined with my old video. I'm basically selling it because I'm planning on getting a better 3D printer in the future, one that's much more expensive, and I really liked making it, so hopefully someone's interested. It works perfectly fine. One thing that I have printed since then is this. I finished that gear heart that I showed in the first video, and it works. As you can see, it's kind of hard to twist with one hand, but as you can see, it completely shapeshifts, and it's just a bunch of interlocking gears, and if you spin it enough, it'll go back into its original shape, as you can see right here. And it's a heart again. There was a few mistakes, like right there, as you can see there's kind of a weird mistake, and I was able to fix it on another print. You can see it's a lot smoother there, and basically all I had to do was turn the print speed down because it was printing this area so fast that the plastic didn't have time to completely solidify, so it kind of got stretched around and there's like a hole in the part. But as you can see from this one, it's perfectly fine and it's very smooth now. And there's what the bottom looks like with all the gear teeth. I also printed some other puzzles that I was thinking about making that I decided would just take too long. This one, as you can see, like half of a QB with a little slot cut into it, but you see the top, it's a very smooth layer, and that's basically, this is one of the latest things that I printed, and you can see the kind of quality it actually has. It's a pretty smooth finish. Hopefully I'll get a picture of some of the things that I printed and put them on my auction page so that you can see. Okay, one quick thing I forgot I wanted to mention was everything that I will be including in my auction. And I will include the entire printer, so that means the glass plate down here. I'll probably let you find your own little alligator clips. Those are easy to find. I'll include my belt tensioner, the fan that's been attached, both power supplies right here and right there. I will also include the other plastic that I had before, and that is this. It's just a little less than a kilogram of 1.75 millimeter PLA black plastic, and pretty much exactly a kilogram of this ABS 1.75 millimeter plastic. I found out that I actually preferred using the 3 millimeter PLA filament, and this is a kilogram of plastic, but I have been using it for a little while, so that's the one that I've used the most to print all of this stuff. Yeah, so if you're interested, please tell me, and good luck on the auction. Thanks.